So if you're a fan of home theater or a lot of music, you've probably seen a whole bunch of speakers out there in the world. And there's speakers that are $50, $100, $300, all the way up to like $500,000. And I bet at some point in time you've asked yourself, one, who would spend that much money on a pair of speakers? And two, is it really even that good? Let's talk about it. Speakers come in all shapes, sizes, performance levels, and price tags. And most people spend around, on average, maybe $400 to $500 for a pair of speakers. And some people step up to maybe $1,000, $2,000, and then there's a small ground of people who go like $3,000, $4,000. But then there's this 1% of people who buy speakers that are worth $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per speaker. And for me, I just won't get my mind around it. Don't understand it. But that's not necessarily for me to understand. When somebody looks for a speaker that's $50,000, $60,000, they're looking for the absolute best quality, pairing it with the best tube amps, the best amplifiers, the best receivers, the best rooms, acoustic treatment. They're going for the absolute best. And those are usually like sound engineers or people who really study sound or do reviews and stuff, test. Those kind of guys really call for those speakers. Us guys, normal people who don't have a lot of money to just shell out, go for the Polk Audios and the Klipsch and the Sonys, the Deftechs and the Paradigms. We like those guys because they give you really good, solid quality sound, quality performance, and a price that most of us would call pretty much affordable. So what's the difference between us guys who like the $2,000, $1,000, $900 speakers versus the guys who like the $10,000, $40,000, $70,000 speakers? Is it really a big difference? Yes or no? So we're going to use two speakers as an example. We all know Klipsch and we love them to death. Klipsch has some really baseline speakers and they have some fantastic flagship speakers. So over here we're going to put the RP8000s right here in my hand, and in this hand we're going to have the Klipsch Palladiums. And they're the flagship ones. If you haven't ever seen them, they're top of the line, just amazing $20,000 speakers versus their $1,100 speakers. Are the RP8000s 18 times worse than the Palladiums are? Who knows? What makes a $50,000 speaker a $50,000 speaker? Well, there's a lot of different components that go into the speaker. No pun intended, but there's a lot of components that go into a speaker. Crossovers, tweeters, drivers size, cone material, the baffle themselves, the cabinet, the bracing internally. There's a lot of different things that go into a speaker that you cannot overlook if you're going to put a $50,000 price tag on a pair of speakers. Now, Polk Audio, Sony, and those general guys that everybody knows and loves, they're great speakers, but they don't put the best stuff in their works, and they know because the market doesn't necessarily call for that. A lot of speakers are $60,000, $70,000 because not a lot of people are going to reach after them. So when they do sell them, they want to bring some money and they got to pay the people to bring the components, to build the speakers, to ship them out. And that's where all the price comes from, as well as the components themselves. There's a lot of weight when it comes to a high dollar speaker. The drivers are going to weigh a lot, the speaker itself, the cabinet, all that stuff's going to weigh on the speaker because of, usually, you guys heard it before, weight usually indicates quality. Things that weigh a lot, especially in electronic world, that's not just receivers and speakers, but like TVs and maybe a laptop and things like that, projector, usually weight indicates quality. And so speakers that cost you $50,000, $60,000 are going to have a lot of weight to them. They're going to be very, very tall. They're going to be able to reproduce every bit of bass that a subwoofer can because you're going to want to have them be able to play stereo sound with ease, high volumes, big bass response. You want them to be able to do everything for $50,000. You don't want to have to add anything else to help them. So that's where a lot of the price tag comes from. Now, guys like you and I, we don't want to spend $50,000, $60,000 on speakers. They may look great and they may sound absolutely amazing, but a lot of people don't call for that. A lot of people don't have the space for that. If I was to put the Klipsch Palladiums in my room, I would probably hate them. Not because they are terrible, but because my room is. It's too small, I don't have the acoustic treatment, and my ear's not trained to listen to something of that high quality. And not only that, but my receiver, my amplifier, and things like that, they're not able to reproduce the type of quality sound that the speakers are, and your speakers are only as good as the information that you feed them. I don't listen to the highest wave files, I don't listen to a lot of FLAC files, I don't do a lot of that. So getting speakers that cost me $40,000, $50,000, I won't benefit from them at all because I don't feed them the information to give to me. This speaker right here is $130. This speaker right here is $1,100. This one right here is $22,000. Does that mean that this speaker here is terrible? Not at all. Is this one 18 times worse than that one up there? Probably not. So why would you jump up to a speaker like that if what you can get for a lower price is as good? Again, it's subjective. A lot of people don't have the means to listen to music of that kind of quality. It's a small number of people who really like to listen to music at its highest fidelity. I'm not one of those people. I enjoy a regular Spotify playlist every now and then while I'm in the car or when I'm at home. But I don't sit down and study and embrace with the music like a lot of other people do. I'm a big music fan and I love sound quality, but I'm not going to shell out $50,000, $60,000 to get that quality. There's a small number of people out there who do that, and I don't think me and you are those people, and that's okay. Sound quality is subjective, and so is money. What makes you happy may not make me happy, and vice versa. If you guys aren't familiar with cars, everybody knows the Nissan GTR. A Nissan is a race car, one of the most well-known cars ever to be built. Nissan GTR. They're super fast, and they're faster than a lot of $200,000 cars, $300,000 cars, and it's about an $80,000 or $85,000 car. So why would you spend the extra $100,000 on a car that has less performance? Kind of the same thing on the speakers too. It's more of the aesthetics. It's more of bragging rights in a way. It's also the small things. The GTR may be faster than a lot of $22,000 cars or maybe a $400,000 car, but it doesn't have the latest tech or doesn't look the best, or there's a small bit of horsepower or torque that's one had that the GTR didn't have. Small little things like that. And it's the same thing in the speaker world. I love my Polk Audio LSIMs. I think they're one of the most best speakers that I've ever had blessed my ears. I think they're fantastic. But a lot of people tell me, no, they're trash, Clips is better, or this, that, and the other. And you may be right, you may be wrong, and it's subjective, and that's what the point is. You can get yourself $40,000 speakers and you can be very happy. Or you can get $40,000 speakers and be very upset with the performance. It really just depends on your taste, your ears, and your environment that's going to decide if $50,000 speakers are much better than $2,000 speakers. It's going to be up to you. So what I want you guys to do is leave me a comment down below and let me know what's the most expensive speaker that you have heard, whether it's your own or a friend, or maybe you heard a demo somewhere at a store. Let me know in the comments below what's the most expensive speaker that you have ever heard, and then let me know what's the most expensive speaker that you would ever buy. The most I've ever spent on a speaker is $2,000 for the pair, and the most expensive speakers I ever heard were, I don't know, maybe $7,000 at the time. So let me know down below in the comment section what's your most expensive speaker that you've heard and what's the most expensive speaker that you would buy. Leave me a comment down below. Make sure you flick that like button and go ahead and get the elbow to that subscribe button while you're there as well. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a good weekend. Kpaceguy out. Peace.